taking a moment to thank the messages from the cards, the energy of the cards for being in our circle tonight, just inviting us to hear things, receive things in a different way. We thank the cards and their messages for being here. I'm going to get a drink and nourish my throat chakra. All right. So the first card I pulled for past energy, a past message, was the Devil inverted. So you can see she's in this red dress. She's upside down. She's got the, angel, two angels on her shoulders. Not like angel and devil. She's the devil. But we have the angel of light and the angel of shadow there kind of on each side. And, as I just mentioned, things are a bit upside down right now. 6 planets in retrograde. Full moon in Pisces, one fish swimming down, one fish swimming up, might feel like a little bit of a vicious cycle, those sorts of things. And that is the energy that we're feeling with this Devil card. Now, this is also, because it's reversed here, this is symbolizing us kind of leading from our heads, and again, not from our hearts or from our gut. We're not as grounded. I mean, she's completely upside down, almost hanging like a bat here. And this is reminding us to, hey, slow down, pay attention, because everything's upside down right now. This is past card, right? So this is saying, hey, we've been in this upside down energy. So if you're continuing to feel a little, in your head by being upside down so much, it's time to find more balance. Now, the other thing to pay attention to are those 2 angels, right? The shadow angel and the light angel. This is reminding us that, hey, we are both letting go of the light and inviting in more of the darkness. And both are equally beneficial to our journey of transformation. We can't always be sunshine and rainbows. We can't always be ultra spiritual, kind of on that Zen high. We have to come back down to reality. We have to do shadow work in order to ascend. We have to know our darkness in order to know the light, and vice versa. They're very complementary to one another. So right now, we are feeling this energy of, both benefits of the ending of summer and the beginning of fall and winter. And we have to find the pieces of summer that we want to carry over through the rest of the year. Now, this also represents kind of that tension, that feeling of being pulled between the sun and the moon and Mercury and everything else right now. So just make sure that you are 100% grounded. There's so much red on this card because it's saying you need to ground right now so that you don't continue to make irrational decisions here moving forward, especially during Mercury retrograde when everything goes upside down. Even though we pulled this as a past card, something to remember is that Mercury retrograde officially happened yesterday in the past, one day before. So we don't have to think long-term past here. We can just think about the past that's happening kind of recently as well. Now, moving into the present, for the present card, I pulled the 6 of Cups. Cups always represent this energy of cup runneth over, kind of abundance, lots of energy. And remember, this is a moon where we are being asked to be humble and kind of look at our surroundings and find where we're wealthy in different ways. And also, I just love the 6 of Cups in particular because the 6 represents community and family and magic, inner magic. So this card is reminding us that we are abundant in so many ways beyond the money. This isn't the 6 of Pentacles, this is the 6 of Cups. And this is saying, hey, you have so many friends and family and just gifts within you. And look at how all of that provides you so much wholeness. Right? Remember that even though we're in this full moon of Pisces, we're also presently in the season of Virgo. And Virgo is this cosmic virgin, or this energy of wholeness and feeling complete. So the 6 of Cups just says, hey, remember, be humble. You're so abundant. There's so many things within you. You help yourself feel more whole. Now, the other thing about the 6 of Cups, this is an excess of cups or a lot of things rising up. And remember that we are in Mercury retrograde. So these could be friends, family members, people from your past rising back up to the surface. Now, you might get that random chat, text, snap, phone call, DM, all of those things. You might have weird random things happen with people from the past, but you're going to have probably somebody from the past pop up in your life in some way. Now remember that 6 is also representative of magic. So you get to decide how that relationship is dealt with moving forward, right? Is that a relationship that you want to continue to cultivate and exchange with and carry into the future, into the darker months of winter? Or is that a relationship that you need to release right now? Magic, inner magic is always this, cultivation and release, this churning of the cauldron, so to say. So you decide what you do with this energetic exchange, no matter the past, no matter how it was before. You get to decide right now in the present with who you are right now, with the current state of your life right now, with the energy of how you're feeling right now, how you want that exchange to exist or grow or sever when you go forward after this moon. Now finally, for the future, we have the 7 of Wands, talking about magic. Wands always signify magic. And we've gone up a number. We've gone from 6 to 7. And 7 is the number of ascension. It's the number of 7 deadly sins, 7 days of the week, 7 chakras, right? And even here, the wands are pointing up. So this is symbolic of rising up or rising above. So again, hey, things are going to rise up, and probably people from your heart, because we've got this green, right? And green is the heart chakra. Speaking of 7, it's right in the center of your 7 chakras. So don't be surprised if we have people from your heart. A lot of times it's a joke that exes just show up out of nowhere during Mercury retrograde, but that might happen. People from the heart. Now also remember that the veil is thinning and we're in Pitru Paksha. And so this is a time when people of our heart, as in our bloodline, as in our ancestors, might try to connect to us. Maybe it's in our meditative spaces. Maybe it's in the dream world. Maybe you physically are actually here right now, sense a relative next to you. Don't be surprised if that happens over the next 2 weeks as the veil thins, and really throughout the next rest of the year, until we move into winter solstice, December 21st. So now until then, there's going to be this rising up of things from the past, people from the past, your bloodline, and maybe even stories from the past, stories from your bloodline as well. Remember, it's how we react to those stories and use those stories to transform, and that's where those wands of magic come in. Now, the 7 of Wands in particular also says that, hey, you might go through a journey of ascension or a journey of evolution. And we know that as we journey through the birth canal into that new life and that new world, it is always the most pressure, the most constricting, the darkest before the dawn. And so this does signify that there may be some challenging times ahead. Maybe it's us as a collective, maybe it's you individually, but there's a bit of a steep mountain to climb, okay? So you're going to have to really trudge forward through the challenging time. And as we said earlier, do the work, right? Show up and continue to do the work on your dreams, on your intentions, on your goals, on who you are trying to become. This card is surrounded by yellow. That is solar plexus. That is who we are at our core. So allow yourself, during this lunar portal, over the next rest of the year, to really do the work, the shadow work, the healing of the family wounds, the cutting cords or the retying of the cords or the developing of new cords, relationship work in general. But all of this will apply right now as we move forward into winter. And by the way, the Seven of Wands not only says to do the work, but it also says that you will be successful if you do. You will live more out of your heart and out of your joy if you will just do that work to get there.